Yo.
Yo.
What's good?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up? Yo, I know we sound kind of crazy, man. We just had like a crazy ass epic night on a fucking Saturday. You know, I deliver these joints every Sunday. Shit was just crazy, bro. Like, man, this shit. And I got a guest today. It's not just me, Dolo. I'm going to stop doing Dolo podcasts. I actually have my friend / co-worker / whatever the fuck you want to name it. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yo, so.
Hey, what's good, man? It's your boy Hamsa right now, you know, helping out my, so, I mean, basically, how should we just start this off, man?
However the fuck you want.
Right, so this is what happened. So, me and my friend ended up booking a hotel, right? And it was supposed to be $120 for the night, so we split it 60-60. So we go to the hotel, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, listen, we ran out of the standard, so we're going to give you the biggest room, which is the suite. And we're like, okay, how big is this room? So I walk into this room, and it's like 2 bedrooms. You have a hallway, a kitchen, 2 bathrooms, a living room. I'm like, oh, my goodness, this is like huge. That's what she said. Then, and then I was like, man, I felt so inspired. I'm like, oh my goodness, like my credit score is so good. I was like, you know what? I bought a Newman TLM49 last week. I bought an interface. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna go invest, and I'm gonna call up people and just see if they could come and try to create like an album or something tonight. So I call up Cory. I call up my friend Anthony. I call up my friend Rox, and they all come through. So we tried to make an album in one night, and we realized today that, like, it's not that easy. Like, it's just not that easy. It's not about having the best equipment. It's not about – it's really not about having the best equipment. It's more about how much time you invest in, like, we didn't know how to use – I didn't know how to use Logic, and I had Logic for, like, 5 years. So, like, preparation I feel like was so important. So, like, literally we're literally still in the suite right now, and Cory was like, I want to do a podcast. And I was like, you know what, man? Let's just do this podcast, man.
I wasn't even going to do it. Like, I don't like making people wait. But, you know, like, I'm a human being, bro. We ain't even get no sleep. Like, I only got 2 hours of sleep. He only got 30 minutes. Like, this shit is real. Like, this shit is real. And, you know, it was an experience because, bro, if we in a big-ass suite for no reason.
For no reason.
You got a whole bunch of fucking, I can't say, well, we hood kids. I don't give a fuck. You got hood kids in the fucking suite. And we just was maxing out. And it wasn't even no partying, no drinking, none of that stuff. Like, no drinking, no smoking, none of that stuff of that nature. It was just more of everybody was in the creative space to try to make sure this nigga Hamsa create an album. But we knew in our mind, like, that shit's not possible. You just can't wake up and say, I'm gonna fucking do an album. Fuck this shit. Like, we ain't fucking millionaires. I'm gonna call everybody and make a fucking album tonight. But we gonna push to make sure that niggas inspired to try to do it. Fuck it. It ain't a failure, bro. It's never a fucking L. Like, this shit is, I don't know, my nigga.
It's like, it's crazy. I mean, when you say that, like, the reason, like, me and Cory were talking about this whole L thing, like, so, yeah, I didn't finish the album. I didn't even finish a complete song. Like, that's the crazy thing. And if you literally, like, I literally just went to Best Buy, the one on Union Square, 24 hours. I bought a 4K camera. I bought this
nigga
like,
bought a fucking a fucking cookout speaker to do an album. Like, you don't need a fucking cookout speaker, bro. I can see this speaker right now, bro. This shit lights up. Shit Bluetooth. As you playing a song, that it's changing colors. The nigga brought a fucking
Polaroid, a 4K
nigga bought
camera.
a Polaroid camera, man. A Polaroid camera, a 4K camera that's like $900, a fucking mic that's like $1,300,
$1,700, boy.
$1,700. Like, this nigga is like fake living now. And what's crazy is this nigga's gonna go return all that shit.
Yo. You gotta take advantage of the customer service. You know what I mean?
This nigga's gonna go return all of this shit.
I'm keeping the mic, but like,
keep the mic. But
the cookout speaker is going back.
The cookout speaker has to go.
It belongs to somebody else's barbecue, not ours. You know what I mean?
Not this barbecue.
Not this barbecue.
Fucking today.
We didn't.
Not on my watch. Dead ass, bro. Dead ass. This is some crazy shit.
But
some epic shit though.
But one thing we can tell you though, is we used a 4K camera. We shot some hilarious, when I tell you hilarious classic footage.
We got some classic.
We got some classic footage. That's one thing I can say.
I'm gonna try to drop whatever Hamsa don't take and drop that on my YouTube. Just to make people see my personality and not, because a lot of people don't see my personality, they just hear it. And sometimes visuals is much needed. Like visuals is like super needed.
Yeah, especially today, like people like are so like they have adapted to like watching YouTube videos and like Netflix and Hulu, where like everything now, when you hear audio, you kind of just instinctively want visual as well. And that's why I feel like music is something that is in its own realm, because like that's something you literally like don't physically see, but like you vision it.
Yeah.
And I feel like podcasts are gonna develop into that point. But at the same time, like some people do film their podcasts, so it's kind of like it might transform into that realm where like podcasts could be shot live and recorded.
That's true.
And at the same time, so
it's mad shit to this. But I was telling this nigga, he was like, he think he took an L, and I'm like, bro, this is like more of a learning experience than a fucking L. Like you can't take an L. You can take an L through time. You can't take an L through money, because you can make that right back, even though it's gonna be hard. But you can always make that shit right back. And I was saying, you learn more about yourself. Like it's not easy. Like I was telling him, Tupac is different. That nigga just, his work ethic is just different. Like he rather lose sleep than anything. Like he don't give a fuck about sleep. And a lot of us, we spoil you with sleep. Like we got the opportunity to sleep when we want to and shit like that. So Pac came home from jail and did like an album in like a week or some shit like that, or 2 days. Anything less than a week, I know that nigga did, but that nigga's work ethic is just different. Like he's super consistent. He does continuous writing, and he probably remembers the song offhand. So you just can't wake up and be like, I'm gonna do an album. That's what this nigga Hamsa thought he was gonna do. He thought he was Tupac.
Yo, listen, man. The L today was for learning. It's not an L.
It's an L for learning.
It's an L.
Definitely an L for learning. Definitely an L for learning. The L is for learning. That's how I vision that shit being said. Dead ass, my nigga. Dead ass.
It's a classic line right now. It's like L's for learning.
Is for learning.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dead ass.
You gotta make a commercial out of that. You guys gotta give us credit and royalties.
Nah, but on a more serious note, even though it was an epic night, this nigga Hamsa said some real shit last night, and I gotta have this nigga explain that shit about like where hate can be drawn from, and looking at it, because Hamsa, give them some of your background, like where you from.
All right, so
not exactly where you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they can understand the perspective of what you said last night.
Right.
That really drew a different. It created a different aspect on things. Like, cause I'm American, so I'm African American, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really like saying that shit. I don't know. I'll probably be in the way of saying that shit. He just really drew the different aspect on things of from somebody from outside of America, how they would think America is.
Right. So basically, well, it kind of started. The conversation kind of started about like how. I mean, I don't like to get into politics, but like I just want to talk about the origin of the conversation. But the origin of the conversation is like how, like, the whole thing with Muslims and being banned for transportation and airlines and everything, and people keep saying like, oh my God, like these Arabs or these Muslims are like so crazy. They're blowing themselves up. They're killing us. They're doing this. They're terrorists. But like, what I don't understand is like, see, I come from Lebanon, right? My parents are both Lebanese. I lived in Lebanon for about like 6 years. Like, and the way we view it is like, man, we're doing nothing to you guys, but yet you come and pick on our countries. Like, imagine if you were like an 8-year-old kid, right? And this is what really happens. I mean, you see it on the news and stuff. You see these kids like coming up from like under like rocks and dirt, and they're full of dust and stuff. So imagine this 8-year-old kid, right? And he has basically his mother and his father living in a home, and all of a sudden, imagine like, you know, the war from Iraq or whatever country, like boom, all of a sudden they blow up his house or whatever, right? And then he ends up being, for example, the only survivor, or you know, he ends up being a survivor. His mother and father both die. Like, and this kid is only 8 years old. So when this kid is growing up with that, it's like he's gonna have a rotten heart. He's gonna have a very dark life, because think about it, he doesn't understand why he had to lose his parents over something he's not involved in or doesn't understand. So when he's looking for somebody to blame or point the finger at, all he can think about is like a foreign country like the United States, because that's who caused this pain. And so when he does one day come to the United States, you expect this person to be all loving and caring, and it's hard. It's impossible, because this man has endured so much pain for the past like 50, for the rest of his life. He will endure the fact that his parents died being a casualty of some political warfare between two countries, and you expect this kid to not have any vengeful perspective towards the foreign country that caused him this much pain. I mean, it's outrageous to me. And I feel like to have Muslims labeled as terrorists and crazy people and stuff like that, it's like, man, do you understand how much pain America has caused to these Middle Eastern countries? And I'm not into politics. I don't like to get involved, but it's just like it's the truth, and people just get so caught up by this like propaganda that's still being spread today. I mean, especially now with social. I mean, you notice, bro, nowadays when the president or whatever puts up speeches, bro, it's on YouTube nowadays. Like the first thing, it's like a headline on YouTube. It's like they want you to see it first, like.
Because they really realize that social media controls humanity. And I knew they realized that because they chose Trump as president. He the biggest troll. Anything with Trump right now, I could guarantee will get 1 million clicks in less than an hour.
Yeah.
So it's an attention factor, I guess, right now that we in. Yeah. It's kind of sad. Yeah. But that's like what we in. And we gave the phone the power. Like, is the phone controlling us, or do we control the phone? I heard somebody once ask that question, and I really think that's a deep ass question. Nobody understands the origin or the depth in that question. Do we control the phone, or does the phone control us? And I feel like the phone controls us. Cause it's been situations that I didn't pay my phone bill, and I've been without a phone for 2 months, and I guarantee that was like the best times of my life. Because now I don't want to pull out my phone to record everything. I have to actually remember numbers. So it took you back to modern times. And it was kind of a fun time for me. And I didn't know what was going on in the world. And it was like, not knowing sometimes is the best thing.
What do you mean by that, not knowing?
Not knowing? It's like the news. When it comes to the news, like you work in the same place, right? H&M, when y'all tell me stuff that happened, and I don't know about it, I be best not knowing, because sometimes it'd be just, I think sometimes it'd be no news and they create news.
Kind of just like something to fill in the gaps of time.
Fill in the gaps of today, yeah. So like I don't know. It's like I don't watch Love and Hip Hop, right? So people be like, yo, you seen Love and Hip Hop last night? Look, this what this person did, and I don't know. Like I don't give a fuck about it. Like like I don't care to know. Like, it give me something important that I need to know. Like, the 12 girls that's missing in D.C. that's being trafficking. Like, they're kidnapping girls and selling them. That I need to know. Because then I need to warn my friends that don't watch the news that got daughters. This happened in D.C., but it goes on in New York.
I mean, it can spread easily, yeah. I mean,
it can spread easily, but that's things I need to know. Things that help my community or that needs to be spread. I need important information, not unimportant information. Yeah, a motherfucker can tell you how much Jordans cost, but can't tell you Martin Luther King Day. You feel me? Like, give me important information.
You're right, and but you know what's so crazy though, bro? Like, your perspective is somewhat, how can I say it? Like, it's more of the reality of things, but like, yeah, it's kind of hard to blame these kids sometimes, or these people, because, man, that's all they're taught.
I can't say taught, because in the 90s, internet wasn't even big. Remember, at one point it was internet, the internet. It wasn't even called social media. It was just called the internet.
Right, but what I'm saying is like, you know, it's not that you're taught like by someone or something, but like you're taught through these patterns of like you go on social media, right? And that's why, yo, bro, there's phases where I literally just delete every social media app. I don't delete my account or whatever. I just delete the apps for like 2-3 weeks, a month sometimes. I went 3-4 months once, and I literally don't want to have anything to do with it. I don't want to know about what's the current lifestyle. But people nowadays have this notion of, okay, let's say you admire a friend or something, right?
Yeah.
You see their picture, okay, he's doing this like streetwear photography or whatever. Oh man, he got this outfit on or blah, 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 right? So now you feel like, man, if he's wearing this outfit, then I guess this is the trend and this is how to be cool. Do you notice that some people nowadays, man, when they dress, they literally dress in the same exact outfit, the same exact style, in the same exact way? Because, bro, maybe some of them like it, but some of them I feel like they don't know how to be themselves because they're just programmed through the social media and stuff like that, which I feel like it's taking away people's identities. And that's the scariest part.
That is the scariest
That's
part.
the scariest part. Losing your identity is the scariest part.
I was just saying, it's like I put up a post on Instagram and it caused a uproar with certain women.
What was the post?
The post was it was 4 pictures. It's like girls want to curse like a sailor, dress like prostitutes, and twerk like strippers, but wouldn't be treated as queens. And a lot of women was in my comments like, do you wear panties? And going mad hard, and I never gave my perspective on it. And I want that, like, and then the girl was just like coming at me in the comments, and I'm like, yo, great, you don't want to give your perspective on it, but you can post a picture. Not every picture that I post I agree with. It's more of I want other people's opinions.
You know what?
Because other people's opinions can change my opinion that might be ignorant to the media.
Right. Well, Cory, check this out, man. And this is something I had to learn. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, man, it's better not to express your opinion.
It's really
sometimes
better.
It's much better, and especially like for example, like you're talking about these women who dress like. Oh, my alarm. Turn that off real quick. I literally put an alarm for the time I should wake up, but I guess I didn't wake up because I never really slept. But what I'm saying is like, my bad. I'm just turning off all my alarms. I don't want it to like ring again. But what I'm saying about these women, right? And I'm not trying to judge these women because some of them could be like, you know, I don't know what their background is. Some of them could, you know, I don't know them, right? I don't know. But what I want to say is this: if you feel like that woman or whoever that person's lifestyle doesn't fit yours, then just avoid it. I no longer do that, man. I used to do that back in the day. I used to be like, oh, this person's lifestyle was like this. Like, oh, man, I can't. You know what, man? If I don't feel like your lifestyle works with my lifestyle, then I'll probably just avoid you. I wouldn't want to be around you. But the reason why the women I feel like came at you is because maybe that's their lifestyle and they're kind of like
in denial about it.
Maybe I want to say denial, but maybe they feel misunderstood. Maybe they feel like they're having fun. I mean, so.
But like that's my.
I mean, but at the same time, listen.
Irks me.
But you're right because you are right in the post. It does make sense. Some women are that way.
Yeah.
But I feel like I feel like what you did, not to say that you're, you know, I feel like you should have maybe never expressed that and just kept that to yourself. Because sometimes, bro, it backfires when you put your opinion on something that it's unnecessary for you to go. Because if you know these women are a certain way, then avoid them. Because there's plenty. And I mean, plenty great women. I mean, you saw my friend Rox right now, bro. She's great, bro. Yeah. I called her up 12 o'clock. I said, listen, I need you to come do these videos for me. Bro, she came through. Does she dress like one? No, she's in sweats. She's chilling. Does she act like them? No. So a woman like that is like, it's high quality. Mm-hmm. Those women who are like,
they're not high quality.
They're not high quality. And that's why, bro, don't even post your opinion about low quality shit. Don't even.
That's a good suggestion.
Don't even post your opinion.
Like, it's not even. I was posting my opinion. I was looking for opinions from others.
But man,
I didn't even have no caption on the shit.
But the thing is, listen, Cory. What do you need an opinion on when it comes to that situation? Because you already know. You already know what the answer is.
That's a fact.
You already know what the answer is.
That's a fact.
But
you know what it is? As a man, I try to understand women more.
Listen, man. I'll get me wrong. If my girl is, I cannot, like, for example, I've never been in a serious relationship. I admit that to you right now. I've never been in a serious relationship. But if I was to ever get in a serious relationship, I definitely would not want a girl that's wearing crop tops down the street, bikinis all the time. I don't even feel comfortable with my girl being in bikinis or panties or thongs, nothing, bro. I feel like I like a woman to be more preserved in her sexuality. And I feel like the twerking, the whole dressed up in this pattern or blah, blah, and talking loud on the train station or acting, it's a turn off for me. And I don't want to discipline people. I don't want to sound like, oh, hey, please stop doing that. Like, that's kind of like, I feel like I'm being passive aggressive or being rude, but in reality is, when I'm with you, you're representing me.
That's a fact.
You're representing me. So when you posted that, I feel like, man, it's not even worth posting. Mm-hmm. It's not even worth posting because you know the answer, Cory. When you look at a woman, bro, she might put up this whole personality act or whatever, but bro, first impression really does count.
Right.
First impression really does count. If you meet up with her the first day and she's already like literally in just her like you know those little tops, just like a bra or whatever, and it's like 65 degrees out and she has that under her jacket, it's kind of like, whoa, okay, like either you're too comfortable or this is what you're projecting. So don't be mad at me as a guy and expect me not to look at you in such an adultery type of manner when this is what you're projecting, and all of a sudden you want me to treat you like you're such a respectful woman. Like, it's hard. And that's why I feel like, man, don't even bother posting your opinion on that.
Yo, you know what's so crazy? And I put this in a different perspective because it's like I don't want everybody's not meant to be a high quality person. You feel me? Man or female. But just me viewing Muslim women, right? They keep their body covered. Right. And still, I don't know what happens behind closed doors. Right. But I know eventually, maybe in the house or in the bedroom is taken off. I mean, and they preserve their body for their man. Right. And they still end up in a happy marriage. Right. Happy relationship. You know what I'm saying? All relationships got ups and downs. Right. But still get married. Still have a happy life. Right. And these are women that are covered. Right. Then the woman that's less covered is wondering why she continues to get fuckboys. Right. I don't understand it. Like you said, image is everything. If I approached a woman in the club and my pants is sagging, she has every right to judge me. You can tell a person's characteristic by how they dress. Is it always right? No. Right. Is it accurate? Maybe. But it's like, that's the shit that kills me. And I think we in a time where they think less clothes is sexy. I want less clothes for me in the house. I don't want less clothes for everybody else. No nigga's gonna wife a girl that's naked on Instagram. I remember when I was growing up, when AIM was hot. It was a big thing to even get a picture of a girl in bra and panties. If you want to see a girl in bra and panties in 2017, go to Instagram. Why is it that accessible? If you think your body is sacred and you feel like...
You don't even have to do anything. You just literally type in bra, panties on the hashtag and boom.
Boom. And the fact that it's too accessible...
Or Miami. Miami, spring break.
This is my new logic on things. Pregnancy, relationships, sonograms, kids. If these things are so sacred to you, why you don't leave it off the fucking internet? Why must people show? I just had like somebody post them breastfeeding. That's sacred. That's motherhood. Why do we need to see you? Why? Right. Why? Like, why do you need to share that with us? It's not that I find it disgusting. This is motherhood. This is a moment between you and the child that's precious. And you want to share it with the internet. You want to have your... like, if I'm your boyfriend, take that down. I don't want your nipple. I don't want your titty, even if it's not showing your nipple, on the internet. Why do we have to share things on the internet all the fucking time? Like, y'all talking to somebody, right? People be talking to somebody. They call them bae. Just in talking stages. You're doing it because you want the world to know that you're happy right now.
Okay.
And then that person becomes temporary, and then you become upset.
Right.
That we in a land of where people are temporary. People are temporary because it's too much access to options. The internet is the biggest. It's a dude in the world right now that doesn't leave his house that could get 1 million females. You don't have to leave your house to get girls anymore.
Right.
And that's the saddest shit. Because outside is the real world. Outside, when you step outside, that's the real world. Because at this point, anything is possible. You can step outside right now, a nigga could bump me. We get into a fight, I end up in jail. That's reality. I can't do that in the house. That cannot happen in the house if you by yourself. The most you can do is die by doing something stupid like leaving the Franks on. Like, something stupid. You feel me? Like, but reality, outside is reality, and I don't think we understand that. I think we think reality's in the phone. Like, nah. The social media created cowards, like, to express how they feel and do what they say with no repercussion.
You know what, man?
We living in a careless world right now. Careless and insensitive world. So,
and let me tell you something, Cory. And this is kind of like, see, I mean, I've learned recently, right? This is something I'm trying to practice. So I wouldn't say that I didn't have your perspective at one point.
Yeah.
What I do nowadays, man, I just choose to look somewhere else.
That's a fact.
You know, like so basically in August I was supposed to move to Michigan, right? But it didn't work out. But I'm like, yeah, listen, man, like, what can I do right now to just be productive? Man, I deleted social media. I mean, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. And I went for like, maybe to like January, man, just without it. And man, I mean, it kind of makes you sane. And it's, you know what I realized? It makes you feel sane because you don't have to compare yourself with others subconsciously. At the same time, man, I don't have to, like, everything you're saying right now, right? You notice how it gets you frustrated? Yeah. Because you sound frustrated. Yeah. You notice how it gets you frustrated, agitated. You feel like there should be more of a standard. Yeah. But you know what it is, Cory? It's like you're looking at the wrong place for that standard.
That's true.
So
that's true.
You have to remove yourself from that perspective. Yeah. And that's what I did. And man, I mean, I meet great people just in my school. I meet great people just walking down the street. And you're right, 100%. Nowadays, bro, you could go online on like Tinder or whatever and just swipe right. Oh, you want to come over? Boom. You met somebody just now. Positive and negative. Yeah. There's positives and negatives to that, you know? But at the same time, man, if people choose to live that lifestyle, I can't judge them. But if you feel like that lifestyle affects you negatively, where you have to keep looking at people's social media and you feel like, wow, why are they doing this? Pull yourself out where you don't have to see that.
You're right. But you know what it is? Let me tell you what it is with me, bro. Yeah. It's a deeper aspect with me on that. I get what you're saying because I don't comment negative shit on people's shit. I don't complain on people's shit. Right. You feel me? You're right. I do need to look somewhere else. But the thing is, it's deeper than that with me. Like, it's more of I look at it from a black, like, for the black community. Like, sometimes I like to voice my opinion. Like, not even voice my opinion. I want to spark a thought in somebody's head to change what's going on today. Will I ever do it? Who knows? You feel me? But it's more deeper from a black, like, me being, like, a black male. And me, like, I don't think the world understands. You see how, like, you broke down that perspective of someone from a Middle Eastern country? It's the same shit for black people. Right. Like, just imagine, like, just growing up already in a poverty-stricken area. Right. And you watch, your father's not there because your father, 9 times out of 10, like, just was irresponsible or didn't get along with your mother, and he chooses to go away, but he wants to keep in contact with him. But most of our pops don't keep in contact with us. So subconsciously, it doesn't affect you as a baby, but like growing up and then watching your mother have another boyfriend, it fucks with you because this person is not your father. So you have a jealousy or a hatred towards this person because they're not your father. So y'all don't get along. So you grow up with this anger. Right. And then you got to understand, most of, I'm not even trying to be funny, but most of the people from my generation are crybabies. Like literally crybabies. They watch their moms do crack and dope, and we've been fucked up. And our mother will hide it from us. And you grow up still poor. You having to create. Bro, we was creating basketball baskets out of crates and dunking on them shits. You feel me? So, and you grow up angry, and then you not knowing how to love, like how to love, like, because we don't really want to examine it from another man loving our moms. And we want our father to do it, and we want to learn from our father. Think about it, like,
bam,
if you really watch why black men is misguided and why they act the way they act is because we grew up with no father, bro. Who taught black men how to be men? That's why we have that baby or immature or super emotional, or we glorify thugs and drug dealers, because that type of emotion came from the female, the mother. So that's why you have emotional people that react over emotion that's in jail. The structure is not there. The structure is not there because our fathers is not in our lives. So you have daughters, you have a generation of sons and daughters growing up the same way that I grew up. You feel me? The same way that I grew up. And I, as a young boy, I glorified drug dealers because they was getting all the money and all the girls. So I thought that was the way of life, because I'm listening to music, niggas like Jay-Z, and I'm, damn, that nigga really, you know what I'm saying? He really doing it. He really get all the girls. And then you grow up and you're lost a little bit because, all right, you're being promiscuous with women and mistreating women, but you don't know why. And you want to have sex with women, but you don't know why. What is your reason why? Why you want to do this to women? Some men wake up, some men don't. I had an opportunity to wake up. That was a self thing, because I'm like, if I keep going down this road, I'm going to either catch something that's not curable,
right, or
have a baby by a hurt female that grew up with, like, just like me. So her trust in men is not there.
Wait.
So it's a deeper aspect. And then you have this, when I'm telling you, is 95% of of who's on Instagram that I follow.
Wow.
It's a deeper aspect of the ghetto. And then you got to understand, black people are being judged as animals and shit like that when the demographic was created by a white man. Like, my neighborhood consists of a corner store, a liquor store, a chicken spot, and McDonald's, and a Chinese store. Like, what around there is healthy, just as food-wise. Just to generate a positive thought. There's nothing around there that... You're going to drink liquor, which has crazy amount of sugar in it. You're going to get chicken, which has a crazy amount of sodium in it. And this is why black people suffer from diabetes, high blood pressure. You feel me? So they look at us as animals, but they created the demographics for, like, who's not going to be an animal in that demographics? Then you're judged by your name, your skin tone, so you can't get a job. And you telling me money, the American dream is to have money. But you tell our sons and daughters they can't have this job because of their skin color. So you're judging our sins. Now you have a black male that's fatherless that chooses to sell drugs because his mother is struggling. He's not selling drugs because he want to hurt his community. He's selling drugs because he want to help his mother. So now he ends up getting caught, and now he's in prison. And during his time out, maybe he had a girlfriend. Maybe he impregnated a girl. Now he's in jail while his son is born. And the same cycle continues and continues and continues and continues. So it's not me being frustrated with what I see on it. I think it's me being frustrated with people not knowing the source of why black people act the way they act. We've been affected since slavery, and it still goes on. It's more of a mental thing now. It's not a physical thing. The physical thing is we work in retail. That's like kind of like a slavery thing. But it's more of a mental thing. And it's like a fucked up situation that affects generations of people. And I wish that I can spark something that tries to break the cycle. But people don't understand that aspect of it. Like, really growing up in a poverty-stricken situation and then having... You got to understand a lot of this genre of music and a lot of things that was created, that black people created, was created off of being poor. Like, being poor, think like hip hop. Hip hop, if you really started, it was like from a struggle point of view. It was like I'm here, and this is why, like, you know what I'm saying. So it's like it's deeper than what people think, and what people think I'll be frustrated about. It's like I want people to understand where we come from and the aspect we come from, is deep. It's real deep. Like how you explain to me, that shit is deep, bro. That's a different aspect of it, but it's kind of the same.
Right.
And why people don't understand Muslims.
Right.
And they're stereotyped. No. So after you said that, I no longer, like, my mind is clear from, like, first and foremost, I don't think every Muslim is a bad person, but my mind is, I think I if I go to crack a Muslim joke or terrorist joke, I will 100% hold back on respect for you and the aspect you bring to it. Because, like, it's that's deep, bro. How is, like, I understand that anger. I understand that anger because black people have that anger, that same fuel,
there
bro.
You go. There you go.
That black people have that same anger.
Right.
And I don't think people understand. Like, this is the reason why we act like animals. We have drug infested. Bro, I go on my project, sometimes crackheads is on the fucking stairs, smacked out their mind. You smack the shit out of them and they won't wake up.
Pissing on the staircase.
Pissing on the staircase.
Come sit next to me.
Then we're in situations, we in New York City, bro, $1,000 won't even get you a good apartment. It gets you a fucking half of this, bro. And it's like, if you put somebody rich in that same situation, they probably jump out the fucking window.
That's true.
So it's like, it's a lot of shit with being black. It just so happened that I took the time out and dug. I'm like, why black people be so angry? Why are we so angry as black people? And I was like, yo, the thing is, we don't know how to love.
And I wanted to ask you that. Gee,
we don't know how.
You said one thing. You said you change. You said either you changed yourself. You looked at it. Yeah. Give me give us more detail on that experience right there. That's what I personally want to know about you, because I feel like I could learn from that myself.
My experience on Vine was very, like, I was very promiscuous and fucked up. Like, I would, like, as a male, you start lying to get pussy, just do anything to get pussy. And I was just thinking, like, when you sit down, you think about doing women wrong, you think, like, I'm gonna have a daughter and she's gonna run into a nigga like me and I'm not gonna like it. And that shit scares me, man. That shit scares me as a man. That shit really scares me, because if I'm too, it would be no way to stop her from doing
the things you did to other women.
No, things that women done to me. Like, you can have a strict parent and she's gonna be. You could be a strict parent, she's gonna sneak in. You could be a free parent and she's gonna be wild. Like, it's no. And my biggest fear is, like, karma. Like, I never been a fan of karma.
Right.
Therefore, I woken up and wanting to do right by people. Not only women, just by people. Right. Like, I respect everything. I respect everybody around me, and I respect everything. Like, I don't disrespect somebody I don't know. Who to say that nigga ain't a boxer? Nigga ain't a UFC fighter. Right. I don't come at niggas incorrect. And that's why I said I don't go on people's page and comment negative shit. I don't know what they going through. And I don't know who they know. So it's like, that when you think of it, that aspect, and I'm like, all right. Like, when you deal with a lot of women, is it for yourself or is it to tell a story? And I see a lot of men do it to tell a story, and they make irresponsible decisions, like, and they glorify it. Like, I had niggas that I don't know be like, yo, you a funny nigga about that video because, like, I do this to women, or I don't use condoms, and, like, that's something you feel comfortable telling. You feel good about that shit? Like, that's not cool. That's what I'm trying to say. The thing about going back to, if it's so precious to you, like, why you don't take care of it? Like, you love your penis, but you would fuck a joint raw that you don't know, and AIDS is not curable. Like, I don't think men get it sometimes. And it's like, you think you could do all this to women, and women choose for men to move like that. Niggas really a female can either break or make a man. If you ever pay attention to success, she could either be his failure or his success. And that's like, it's just one. I don't know. It was just like, I don't know what happened in 2015, and I'm not participating in that act anymore.
What actions?
I guess it was
what actions? I want to know the actions. Like what?
I'm not gonna be part of the posting. Yeah, if she ain't sucking dick, I'm kicking her out, or I'm not kicking her out if she ain't giving me no ass. I wasn't gonna be a part of mistreating women and putting on social media like it's fucking cool.
Okay.
Or doing it between me and her and thinking it's cool. Like, just mistreating women for no reason.
So did you like Are you currently in a relationship? Or
Nah, I'm not currently in a
okay.
relationship.
Did you like go through a relationship in that phase, or did you say, you know what?
And that, yeah, at the beginning of Vine, yeah. The beginning of Vine, yeah. The beginning of Vine, but it was like one of those situations in which me and her met each other at the wrong time. Because my dad died.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And then she met me at that time, and my dad didn't die the day she met me, but a few months after we started going out, my dad died, and then I was getting popping on Vine, so I finally found my lane in life. I found like people I can inspire, and I liked the fame and I liked the notoriety. But then my dad died, and it's like I kept on trying to explain to her, and she was like, "Why you don't?" This is what going back to black people don't know how to love. Why you don't use that as your motivation? In which is true, but she could have said it different, and it probably would have driven a better man at that time. This 2013, going into 2014, if I'm not mistaken. So it was like it's mad. It was mad shit, and I feel like it's gonna be mad people that listen to this podcast and suffer for the same issues, me or you, and that's two different aspects with the same type of anger. That's the craziest shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know it's true. It just need to be said. Like, black people, you're not the only one suffering.
You know,
this man's house was blown up. Our houses don't get blown up, but I experienced being homeless before. I got burned out of my apartment, so I 15% understand that aspect of it, and I think people need to hear from like when Trump is talking of shit and they making Muslim jokes. People need to hear that shit. Like, why? It's just the same situation with white people, right? When you have white people got different problems. They got different problems, and that's like their problems. I'm not gonna say it's less or bigger. They go through situations when their mom mistreats their dad, right? Dad goes to work, works his ass off, but the mom is cheating, and then I'm just giving you a real scenario that I see on shows, that I see on shows and shit like that.
True.
The mom is mistreated and dad. The dad is just like he's submissive. The mom cheats, and then they have that beef going on in the house, and the son or the daughter watches it, and it creates a different type of anger in him, to where he's like, shit, if my household is not safe, it might strike like an evil thought in his head. Like, I don't want to see nobody fucking happy if I'm not happy. And that's probably why you got collar bonds and shit like that. Some of them students that shot up in schools was bullied. Who's to say? But it's like we all do. It's like it. I'm really for humanity, like for real, because at the end of the day, if you technically think about it, somebody white had to be like, this is not right. Like, slavery is just not right for it to stop. Somebody had, and there's books of slave owners that was low-key training slaves how to read, because somebody white was like, this ain't right. Like, physically making them do this shit every day for no money, just for the sake of fucking America. Somebody white had to say this is not right to somebody that's higher in power for them to end it. And if how I'm speaking English today is because somebody white. It's not about, I don't want to hear about coonery or none of that, but I'm just saying everybody really needed each other.
Right.
Because if you didn't have Mexicans, it would be no buildings built. Like, everybody needs each other in some type of aspect. If a person don't understand street smart, they can get it from a black person. If I don't understand Wall Street type of knowledge, I can get it from a white person that's willing to show me. We all help each other. Like, that's what I'm not understanding. And that's what, when we separate ourselves in categories, that's what creates the hate. But the hate that's brainwashing, and it's crazy. It's stupid to me. It's really stupid to me. But in order to run a country, you have to have controversy and drama. You have to have somebody to laugh at. We was the ones being laughed at. Gay people was being the ones to laugh at. Muslims was being the ones to laugh at. Now they being laughed at now because of Trump. So you have to have somebody to laugh at. Somebody has to be at the bottom so you can point at them. Because if you don't have that, then everybody's happy. And everybody happy doesn't make sense. It seems like it would never make the universe revolve around. Like, it's just, to people, it wouldn't make the universe make sense if everybody's happy. So you have to have somebody to laugh at. Therefore, they're going to keep us at the bottom, so they got somebody to point at and laugh at. Because even though they have money, they're still not happy at the top. And it's weird because everybody thinks money make you happy, and it's not. That's not a fact. Because there's a billionaire right now that's crying, that's lonely, and he's a billionaire. He got everything. Oh, I want this, I want that, but he's crying because he's lonely. What's missing is love for him. He feels like he can't find a woman that really loves him for him. They're only around because he got money. So it's like you have to have to build America or to build a country. You have to have somebody to laugh at. And I see countries like Dubai and shit like that, but they still have a crazy poverty-stricken area. So it's like people don't understand humanity. They need to understand, like, it's not about the skin tone. We all need each other, because in order for hip hop to become so popular, even if the person was like, I can profit. Even if a white person's at the time and I can profit off of it, the message, sonically, it still got spread to other countries. So they had to say, all right, we're going to do this. And it's like, I don't think every white person is grimy. And like, I don't think like that, bro. And they brainwashed just how we brainwashed. Everybody's brainwashed to hate each other and it's stereotypical. But it has to be controversy. It has to be drama to run a country. I really learned that shit, like, looking at America. It has to be drama. It can never be a good day. It's never a good day on the news. Never. Just a straight good day. It's always local store was robbed. Bank was robbed. It's never a good day on the news. A news should report good and bad shit, but it's majority bad. They just want to get the information out first to make headlines and clicks and shit like that. So it's weird. Like, this is how our country is run.
It's a business.
It's business.
It's business, man.
America is a business. It's not
America's
a country.
a business.
It's not a country. It's a business.
It's a business, man.
It's definitely a business, and nobody understands that shit.
It's all about how can we make the most profit, and
like slavery. Slavery exists to all races right now.
Well,
they just didn't do it. They said, all right, we're not going to just do it to black people. But imagine if we can get white people to contribute to this shit. You telling me $15 is an hour is worth our time? Anybody? Her time, your time, my time? No. Time is priceless. Something you can't get back. So you put $1 on our time. And now every race is working in the building to generate money for America. And we all slaves. We all like slaves. And nobody understands. Even if you have the job that you're sitting at the desk, you're going to a job that you do not like. Who wants to sit there at a fucking desk, even if you're making $100K a fucking year? Who wants to just sit there and do this shit all day? We all fucking slaves, bro. They just found a way to just get everybody, and everybody, you just sitting there, you're laughing at black people for doing this, but then it's like, bro, you're a slave too, because you get up to go to a job. Like, everybody's a sellout, bro. It's a fact. And it seems like nobody they don't understand that aspect of it. They just didn't only do it to black people, they did it to everybody.
That's like, I mean, you bring a lot of valid points, man. But Cory, I'll say this, man. Although someone like you, right? Let's put it in that perspective. If you decided to say, let's bring it back to women, but just kind of backtrack a little bit so I could like connect the points.
Yeah.
You said that you no longer want to see women in that perspective, and you decided to change.
Yeah.
But I feel like even though black people or just people in poverty in general, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not rich.
Yeah.
I'm just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But I still refuse to accept what I'm dealt with. For example, like even though I work right now at retail, we work at the same job at H&M. I mean, we're definitely making less than $15 an hour. We'll tell you that much.
Right.
So, and I'm not, listen, H&M for a retail company, I mean, is probably the best retail company I've worked for.
That's a fact. It's the only retail company I've never been stressed out with.
No. I admit that. I give that company its credit. But what I want to say is this, man. At the end of the day, 15 hours is just not going to do it for me. because I want to have my own house. I mean, this suite right now, even though we kind of going back to the suite, like me and Cory and Rox and Anthony first walked in. I mean, when you see this suite, man, you're just like, wow, like why can't life be like this every day? Where I have this room where I could just put my podcast. I mean, getting $15 an hour is not gonna do this for you. And what I want to do now is I just want to say something, man. Don't let someone's opinion dictate your future.
That's true.
And that's what I feel like people need to stop making excuses. Like I get it. Black people did live through a lot of like poverty and stuff like that. But at the same time, like there's a lot of black people that made it out.
That's true.
And you just gotta stop making excuses for yourself, saying, "Oh my God." I mean, there's a saying in Arabic. I don't know if it's I'm assuming it's an Arabic saying, but they say today's generation or generation today blames their grandfathers for what they have been through today. And it's like, if you think about it, it goes back to black people, right? All of a sudden, I mean, some of it is a pattern, but at the same time, you can't say, oh my God, we were slaves at one point. Well, now you're free. What are you going to do now?
That's true.
What are you going to do now? Now you're free. Okay, maybe there's laws against discrimination. Maybe some companies get away with it, but some don't.
Yo, this shit is almost an hour. I never went this long, but this is a deep conversation, and if they want to listen to it, they'll do half and half or
yeah, I mean, it's up to them. Now, what I'm trying to say is this, man. Don't make an excuse for yourself, man.
Never.
Like right now, look, take advantage of your information. Right now, I just invested literally like maybe this week alone, like about $5,000. That includes my taxes, money I've saved up for like the past few years, everything. I say, you know what, I have a good credit line. I'm going to just use it. If I don't like it, I return it. But don't make an excuse for yourself to say, I didn't try. And I feel like no matter what race you are, what color, whatever, if you don't attempt to try, then don't complain. Then just stop saying this and that and this and that. And I feel like that's where it comes from. And I feel like that's why like the self-help industry today is so big, because it feeds people that information. Like, oh yeah, be this, be that. But it's not bad. Be yourself, man. Just try. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about, oh man, I'm living in this situation. There's no way I can be successful. No, man. If you really want to be successful, yeah, you might have to work harder than others. But let me tell you, I was talking to my mom the other day. So we're talking about a billionaire. Let's say you're born a billionaire, right? You're born into a billionaire family, and you inherit all your wealth. Let's say your dad sold his company. Boom, you got billions of dollars. It's all in the family wealth. Now, y'all got nothing to do, right? That dude could literally wish for everything, bro. Like you were saying, man. But he might not have love. He might not have friendship. But you know what's you know what I feel like the coolest thing about being poor is? You have something to look forward to, man.
That
you have something to look forward to.
What it is a dope thing about being poor? The creativity.
Man, you the creativity, the energy. You have a mission in life, man. You have a mission in life to say, you know what? I have an adventure ahead of me.
Right.
But when you're born a billionaire, what adventure do you have?
Look at if I was a billionaire tomorrow and I spent it all on some dumb shit, I came back to being poor, I wouldn't be unsatisfied. If somebody rich goes broke, they usually lose their fucking mind.
Right. And it's the idea is this, though. The idea is like, let's say you're a billionaire, right? And you want to make this hip-hop album, right?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you don't need to make a hip-hop album to make money, so you could kind of invest in whatever, right? Yeah. Imagine if someone like Jay-Z, right? Or we're just using an example as Jay-Z, right?
Yeah.
Let's say somebody's big Jay-Z or whatever. You're like, man, I could pay Jay-Z $1 million for a verse. Jay-Z's going to be like, who is this guy that's giving me $1 million for the verse? Oh, the billionaire kid? I mean, I'm just giving him a whatever verse, man. But if I tell Jay-Z, yo, this kid came up from this and that and this and that, this and that, and man, he wants a verse from you, man. What are you going to do? He's going to be like, oh, this is interesting. More inspired, more creativity. And the idea is for me, I'd appreciate that Jay verse more because I'm like, hey, listen, I went through this. This is my adventure. This is what I went through. I had a story to follow. But when you're born a billionaire, man, or a kid or whatever, with so much money, it's kind of whack because what are you going to do now? At the end of the day, money's very motivating. We got to admit that. Money's very motivating. So when you're born a millionaire, we could just literally buy a Ferrari as the push of a button. Or you could buy it online or something. I don't know how these people live. It's type of credit card to get like a Ferrari next door or whatever. But I feel like people need to appreciate being poor sometimes because it helps you see things in different perspectives. It helps you create different ideas, like you said, creativity, and it just gives you a taste of adventure. And I feel like people need to see the adventure of it, man. Stop looking at it as I failed. I mean, look, bro, we took an L today, but the L was not for loss. The L was for learning.
That, and you become way more appreciative when you fall and you get it. I noticed that. But we going on like 55 minutes.
So we should end this soon because I don't want to. We gotta clean up anyway. I gotta get back to Best Buy to return all this equipment. Like, you feel me?
Yo, you already know what it is, man. Every Sunday with Cory Cash podcast.
I want to say before I cut you, because you said Cory Cash, I'm like, I want to say shout out to Cory Cash for putting me on to this podcast. My first podcast ever, aka interview. I don't know what to call this.
It's dope, right?
It's I've never
you
done
do
this
whatever
before.
you want.
You just say whatever you want. It's crazy. But yeah, I guess you gotta wrap it up, I guess, or something.
We gonna wrap it up because this shit is almost an hour. I know people don't got the attention.
Yeah, that's too much.
But I know I'm gonna get a lot of text messages and support for this shit because people have been hitting me up and like, yo, y'all conversations has been dope. So another episode of Cory Cash podcast, and we're wrapping it up, and I'm out.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. I just had a new idea for our song about the Name Your Price tool. So when it's like, tell us what you want to pay, hey, 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 and the trombone goes, blah, 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 and you say, we'll help you find coverage options to fit your budget. Then we just all do finger snaps while a choir goes, savings coming at ya, savings coming at ya. Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, see you at practice tonight. I got new lyrics for the rap break.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hey, you with the rhinestone dog collar. Between us dogs, I just convinced my human to upgrade to a new home with a 1,200 square foot bathroom. I think she called it a yard. With Wells Fargo's 3% down payment on a fixed rate loan, my human realized a new home was within reach. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/woof.
Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. Down payments as low as 3% on a fixed-rate loan require mortgage insurance. Ask a home mortgage consultant about loan requirements. Wells Fargo Home Mortgage is a division of Wells Fargo Bank N.A., Equal Housing Lender. NMLS ID 399801.